You say you have a dream. Good. Now tell me what time you woke up this morning. Tell me how you spent your first hour. Tell me what you fed your mind before the world fed you its distractions. Because dreams don't care what you want. They care what you do. Everyone says they want greatness, but most people aren't willing to suffer for it. They want the glow without the grind. They want the praise without the process. They want the finish line without the 1,000 lonely steps it takes to get there. And that's why most dreams die in comfort zones. Let me be clear. Dreams are not fragile. They are forged from fire. But they demand a price. And that price is discipline. Not the kind of discipline you fake when someone's watching. The kind that shows up when no one sees, when no one claps, when everything in you wants to quit, and you still do the work. That's the doorway. That's the toll. And if you're not paying it daily, your dream is just decoration. You think dreams are about vision? They're not. Vision is only the beginning. It's the spark. But discipline is the engine. Discipline is what separates the man who says, I will, from the man who actually does. It's what keeps you moving when the inspiration dies, because it will die. There will be mornings when nothing in you wants to rise, nights when you question everything. You'll have critics, setbacks, delays, and doubts that whisper, maybe this isn't for you. And that's where discipline speaks louder. It says, show up anyway. It says, we don't negotiate with weakness. It says, we do what's required no matter how we feel. Feelings fade, but discipline carves reality. You say you want the life of your dreams? Then build the spine to carry it. Because the dream is heavy. It won't survive in a lazy body. It won't survive in a scattered mind. It demands order, focus, precision, power. And all of that comes from the one thing no one can hand you, discipline. You were not put here to drift. You were not designed to merely survive the day. You were built to rise with intention, to move with force, to carve a mark so deep into the earth that time itself remembers you. But that kind of life, listen to me, it doesn't come by accident. It doesn't come because you read the right book or watch the right video. It comes when you get sick of your own excuses. Discipline begins the moment you stop negotiating with weakness. That voice in your head, the one that tells you to sleep a little longer, to skip the workout, to blow off the plan, you have to crush that voice. Not reason with it, not entertain it, kill it, because that voice is not your friend. That voice is the enemy of your future. Every time you obey it, you trade progress for comfort. And comfort is the enemy of kings. So no, discipline is not about punishment. It's about positioning. It's putting yourself in the place where greatness becomes possible. And that means systems, routines, rituals. The boring, gritty, repetitive things that no one wants to do, but the legends always do, because they understand the truth. Freedom is not the absence of rules. It's the result of following the right ones. You see someone with the life you want and you say they're lucky. You see the car, the body, the business, the clarity, and you call it talent or fate or some magic hand they were dealt. But you don't see the 5 a.m. wake-ups. You don't see the hours no one paid them for. You don't see the sacrifices they made while others laughed, played, slept. You don't see the days they kept going when every part of them screamed to stop. What you're looking at is not luck. It's discipline disguised as destiny. Discipline is the quiet force that rewrites reality. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't care if you clap. It just keeps moving, building, becoming. You want to talk about dreams? I want to talk about willingness. Willingness to endure. Willingness to delay pleasure. Willingness to do the boring things with greatness until greatness becomes who you are. Because if you cannot suffer through the silence, you do not deserve the spotlight. If you cannot say no to what distracts, you are not ready for what fulfills. If you cannot keep your own word, how do you expect the world to believe in you? This is not about motivation. This is about mastery, and mastery begins the moment you say, I will not be moved, not by comfort, not by failure, not by fatigue. Let me ask you something, and don't lie to yourself. What do your habits say about your future? Because discipline isn't what you do once when you're inspired. It's what you do daily when no one's watching. It's in the food you choose, the thoughts you feed, the words you speak when no one else can hear. It's in the promises you make to yourself, and whether or not you keep them. You think the universe rewards desire? No, it rewards alignment. When your actions speak the same language as your vision, the world opens. But if you say you want greatness and live like you want comfort, life doesn't listen to your words. It listens to your patterns. Discipline is alignment in motion. It's the proof that you are not just dreaming, you're becoming. And yes, there will be pain, there will be setbacks, there will be days when the old you tries to resurrect itself and pull you back to who you used to be. But discipline is death to the old self. It's the executioner of excuses. And if you want a new life, you've got to kill the habits of the old one. Every rep, every repetition, every refusal to quit is not just training your body or your schedule, it's training your identity. You don't rise because you feel like it. You rise because you've decided that who you're becoming matters more than how you feel. You can read every book on the planet. You can fill journals with goals and vision boards with dreams. But if you can't master yourself, you will forever be a servant to your circumstances. The man who cannot control his mornings will never control his destiny. The woman who cannot say no to her distractions will never say yes to her higher calling. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. That's the irony. The world tells you that freedom means doing whatever you want. But that kind of freedom is chaos in disguise. Real freedom is earned. Real freedom is built. And the bricks are forged in discipline. You think you're tired? You're not tired. You're unaligned. Your fatigue comes from the gap between who you are and who you know you're supposed to be. That internal war, that's what drains you. Discipline closes that gap. It silences the war. It turns the scattered, fractured version of you into something focused, grounded, powerful. And here's what they won't tell you. It's not supposed to feel good in the beginning. It's supposed to feel like death, because you are killing off the weak version of you, the one who needed motivation to move, the one who needed praise to persist, the one who folded under pressure. That version has no place in the life you're building. The world doesn't need more dreamers. It needs more finishers, because dreaming is easy. It's comfortable. It's safe. You can sit in your room, close your eyes, and imagine a life of glory. That costs nothing. But to bring that dream to life, that costs everything. You will have to say no to what once thrilled you. You will have to walk away from the familiar. You will have to sacrifice your lower self to give birth to your higher one. And that's why so many never make it. They fall in love with the idea of change, but never submit to the discipline that creates it. Discipline is sacred. It is spiritual. It is a form of devotion, not to the world, not to others, but to the vision inside you that refuses to die. When you train your body, you're honoring the vessel. When you train your mind, you're sharpening the blade. When you train your habits, you're paving the path to kingship. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens through repetition. Repetition in silence, repetition in pain, repetition when the world claps, and repetition when the world is silent. Greatness is not a moment, it's a pattern, and your patterns are louder than your prayers. Don't pray for a life you're not disciplined enough to build. You can't fake discipline, not for long. Eventually the cracks will show. When pressure comes, and it always does, it will reveal the truth of what you've built. If you've built on excuses, you'll crumble. If you've built on emotion, you'll fold. But if you've built on discipline, you'll stand. You'll stand when others fall. You'll walk forward when others retreat. You'll remain calm in storms that break lesser men. Discipline makes you dangerous, not loud, not flashy, Dangerous. Because there's nothing more threatening to the world of mediocrity than a person who cannot be moved. Let others chase hacks and shortcuts. Let them cling to motivation like a drug they need another hit of, not you. You don't wait for mood. You don't beg for signs. You move because it's time. You execute because it's truth. You've burned the boats. You've shut the door. There is no plan B, no back door, no soft landing. There is only forward, on fire, on purpose, on discipline. And when you live that way, you stop needing applause. You stop needing approval. You stop needing outside permission because you've already decided. Decided who you are. Decided what matters, decided what this life will become. And that kind of decision is unshakable. There is a version of you that already has the life you want. It's not fiction. It's not fantasy. It's you without the lies, you without the delays, you without the self-sabotage. But that version is guarded, not by luck, not by fate. It's guarded by discipline. You cannot talk your way into that life. You cannot visualize your way there if your behavior refuses to change. You must earn it with daily decisions, not once in a while bursts of effort. Discipline is the evidence that you're serious. It's the proof that you've stopped negotiating with your lower self. It's the signal that you're no longer just interested in your dream, you're married to it. You must become obsessed with follow-through, obsessed with completion, obsessed with honoring your word, especially to yourself, because that's where power lives, in the unseen choices, the early alarms, the quiet reps, the lonely hours when no one is clapping. That's where the shift happens. That's where greatness is born, not in front of crowds, not on stages, but in silence, in structure, in self-command. That's the hidden truth the world won't tell you. Discipline is the secret doorway to everything you say you want. You want peace? Master yourself. You want wealth? Master your habits. You want power? Master your thoughts. Because no external victory can compensate for internal chaos. And no dream will survive in a mind that cannot obey its own commands. Look around you. How many people live in regret? Not because they lacked opportunity, but because they lacked order. They had dreams, but they let comfort win. They let fear decide. They let discipline slip. And now they spend their days remembering what could have been. Don't become one of them. You are not here to dabble. You are here to dominate, not through ego, through execution, not through noise, through non-negotiable standards. Discipline is not just a practice, it is an identity. It is who you must become, the kind of person who refuses to break their word, the kind of person who doesn't need motivation because they move anyway, the kind of person who wakes up with purpose and sleeps with pride. You cannot fake this. You must embody it, not once, not twice, but daily, hourly, relentlessly. Because when you live in discipline, you don't have to chase results. Results chase you. You want the world to take you seriously? Then take yourself seriously first. Discipline is not just the way to the dream, it is the dream. Because a man who controls himself can create anything. A woman who governs her time, her energy, her focus, she is unstoppable. You don't need to scream about what you're becoming. Let your habits speak. Let your results speak. Let your presence prove it. Discipline turns your life into evidence, undeniable evidence. It's the silent roar of someone who no longer needs permission, someone who knows, I was built for this. I will not fold. I will not flinch. I will not waste the fire that burns inside me. So stop asking if it's the right time. It is. Stop wondering if you're ready. You are. Stop searching for signs. This is your sign. The only thing between you and your dream is whether or not you'll show up tomorrow with the same discipline you promised yourself today. No more talking, no more planning, no more delay. Your dream is not waiting on the world, it's waiting on you. So rise, lock in, burn the excuses, honor the vision, live with the kind of discipline that makes quitting impossible and success inevitable. Because dreams don't belong to the gifted. They belong to the gritted, to the ones who do it anyway, to the ones who are willing to become the version of themselves that no longer needs saving. Discipline is the path. Discipline is the proof. Discipline is the price. Now pay it. The world makes way for those who dare to rise. Click the Rise button now to subscribe and claim the destiny waiting for you. Your time is now.